ready to enter the Thrivetime Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Clinton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm a dive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here.
What we're going to be doing is we really, today are going to start off by learning how to influence people, because that's really what this campaign is all about. So I'm going to go ahead and just give you guys the little false promise I'm going to read to you. It says, this is kind of in my mind, this is the American false promise that everybody deals with, and they'll usually deal with it about 6 years after college. They're going, what happened? So I'm going to read it to you. It says, if you get a degree in this or that, or stay at this job or that job, that you will achieve massive success and the favorable attention of virtuous people of the opposite sex. This is sort of the belief that if you just get a degree and you just stay at that job long enough, that you'll just end up being at the top. But we all know that that's not really true, right? I mean, there's a lot of people who have a degree who, for whatever reason, can't get a jobby job. And there's also people that don't have a degree that can get jobs. There's people that have degrees that can get jobs. There's people who change jobs all the time and can't ever seem to get ahead. And there's people that, stay at a job and can get ahead. And you're like, what is the thing here? So really, you have two big questions we're going to ask you, okay? Somebody's going to get you involved here. One, who are the world's leaders? So in your mind, without looking at this sheet of paper, who are the world's biggest leaders? The ones who are, you say, so let's go, who is, somebody volunteer here, who is the world's most successful man in your mind? Let's go with women first.
Maybe Hillary Clinton.
Okay, you're going to say Hillary Clinton, okay. Hillary Clinton. Now what about for men?
President of the United States.
Okay, so President Obama. Now let's look at these people let's look at them kind of objectively. I'm glad no one said Putin. Okay, that's great. That's so good. He hasn't taken over yet. Okay, so who is the most successful? Let's look at their character traits for a second. Did you guys watch the debates? Do you remember anybody vote in the election? I'm not going to ask you who you voted for, but everybody watched the debates?
Yeah.
Who is the best? Who was the guy who dominated the debates? Obama. Why? I don't know. I would say he has the ability to influence people. Do you remember watching him give a speech before where maybe you went in, maybe not? Have you ever watched him do a presidential address where maybe you thought that you didn't agree with what he was going to say, but then when he finished saying it, you're like, I can see the point.
He made people feel good even if he didn't say anything.
Yeah. We have to learn this, because once you have all this skill you learn at college and you go out and try to find a job, that's going to be the connection point between your skill and thriving. Does that make sense? So it's like super important that we know this stuff, okay? So let's look at our sheet of paper real quick here, okay? I'm going to read you this quote. This is the world's wealthiest man at the time. And he just said, the ability to deal with people is as purchasable a commodity as sugar or coffee, and I will pay more for that ability than for any other under the sun. So the thing is today, the question I'm going to ask you today is, are you going to look at it and go, well, that's not my personality, or do you believe that's something you can learn? Now, there's this lady by the name of Cheryl Dweck. Dr. Cheryl Dweck, she's actually a professor at Stanford. You got to look her up. D-W-E-C-K. Okay? She's a PhD, smarter than I am. Okay? So what she says is that Christian, she says that he will have to choose to have either a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. He will have to choose. She says that Alexis will have to choose to have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. And if you read her book or you read her studies, this lady's devoted 20 years to studying people. She's discovered that only 5% of people in the whole planet believe that they can improve and learn new skills. And 95% of people believe you can't. But then when she interviews the people, after she asks them, do you believe you can grow or not? That is the number one determinant between how much money they make. So when you look at people and you ask them, do you believe you can improve, yes or no, on the survey? And then the final question is, how much money do you make? Do you know that the people who believe they have a growth mindset are making 20, 30 times more than the people who don't? Okay? So if anybody's just deciding, like, I don't want to do it, then I'll just punch you out of here. It's like a shortage of humans on the planet. We'll find people. Okay? So the second thing is, what is limiting you from realizing your potential? Remember back in like 3rd grade where you diagram a sentence? Maybe you don't do that anymore. Maybe that was just old school because I'm in my 30s. Maybe now we just Google stuff. I don't know. But the point is, okay, so let's look at it. When dealing with people, let's just underline that. When dealing with people, when dealing with anyone, when dealing with employers, when dealing with spouses, when dealing with girlfriends, when dealing with boyfriends, when dealing with humans, right? People, let us remember that we are not dealing with creatures of logic. What? Now that's hard for people to grasp when they leave the great bubble of college. Because we're so grounded in logic, and it would make sense that if you have all your numbers together and you have a good GPA, that you should be able to get a small business loan to open up your big business. It would make sense. But yet, the people who are the most successful, Walt Disney was a high school dropout. Steve Jobs, college dropout. Then you have people who also have degrees who are very successful. You have President Obama. But really, at the end of the day, the bank will decide to give you the loan, yes or no, based upon all things being considered, all things equal, that the person who can influence the banker and says, I like that person, they will lend to you and not to you. When they only have one loan left to do, they'll give one to you or you. Whoever is the person of influence, they will do it. When people watch, now think about this, now I'm sure not you people, but for me, when I watch presidential debates, not you, just me, I'm a failed human. But when I watch the presidential debates, I find myself not liking one candidate or another, not based on his policy, not based on anything he's ever stood for or voted for in the past, but based upon what? Influence. Yeah, it's like, I mean, whether I like him. It's like this charisma, that influence, that thing. So let's talk about it. President Reagan, who I was a big fan of his policy, but President Reagan has a quote, and he says, let us remember that people will not look at what I vote for, they'll look at what I say. It's pretty crazy. Or you look at one of the President Obama advisors, he says we should never waste a good emergency, a good crisis. Because he knows that people will vote for anything in a crisis. So you look at the debates. I remember watching McCain versus Obama. I remember watching that one. And every time McCain would respond, he would look so angry and so hateful that everyone hated him. So this is stuff that we need to learn, though, okay? So on the phone today, when you call somebody, in the first 10 seconds, I want you to write this down. In the first 10 seconds, people are going to form a what? Prejudice. In the first, they're going to prejudge you within 10 seconds. Is that crazy? Oh my gosh. So let me give you an example of how you can't make a call. All right? Hi, is this such and such? Yeah, great. This is such and such from the reason why I was calling you today is, and it sounds like you're reading a script. Who's got that call before from the credit card company or something? So they'll say something like, hello, is Cynthia there? Yes. Hi, this is Clay Clark calling on behalf of MasterCard. How are you doing today? Can we count on you for a donation of, and you're like, click. Can you sound like a cold caller within like 10 seconds? Is it possible to sound like a friend within 10 seconds? How would a friend sound? If you call a friend, how does a friend sound when you call somebody? Hey, is this Bob? But if it's like, if you use my first and last name, I hang up. Check it out. Is this Nicholas Guajardo? And you're like, yes. Click, right? But I'm like, hey, is this Nick? And you're like, yeah, who's this? I'm like, this is Clay. Who? I'm a freshman. Oh, hey, I mean, right? Now I do this stuff, I do this hoo-ha all the time. All the time. It's insane. And the bigger you get up the food chain, when I'm on the phone with let's say the guy who used to run Disney World, he's a partner with us now. His name's Lee Cockrell. He used to manage Disney World, 43,000 employees. I'm like, hey, is this Lee? And he's like, yeah. Hey, this is, and like real quick, he'll form an opinion like, if I'm like, is this Mr. Lee Cockrell? Yeah. Now I can't say he would definitely hang up, but most people do. Right? David Robinson, he's playing the NBA. He's a partner of ours now for Thrive. When I called him, I'm like, hey, is this Super Dave? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what's up, man? But I'm not going to get all formal, because if I'm formal, I promise you, he just loses immediately. It's like, cold caller? So we're going to learn these things, but let's get into this. We're dealing with creatures of emotion. Emotion. What is emotion all about? Have you guys ever been upset in the last 10 days about anything? Or are you just totally, it's just Narnia here? There's the squirrels, there's the ducks, it's perfect. I mean, has anybody here been upset at all this week, even one time? What if I called you during that time? You know, so I'm like, hello, you know what I mean? It's like, what's going on? I went on down to, I got ordered some Chick-fil-A and I got my order wrong and just, I'm just like, so people have emotions that they're bringing to the phone right away. Now, is it possible in your mind to change somebody's emotional state? Do we believe it is? Because 95% of the world does not. I just want to throw that out there for you. So if you do, it's like a weird thing. Do you believe you can fix someone's emotional state? Do you really do it?
Yeah.
So as an example, you have the misfortune of riding in a car with me. The other day, one of our videographers, Birdman, was doing this, and I tried to pass a semi on the shoulder on the right side in the rain. And bad deal. And I started laughing at myself because it was such an aggressive move. I'm like, why would I do that? But when you do that, you always generate some sort of hand gesture. I'm just telling you, if you're with me in the car, you're going to get a honk, you're going to get hand gestures, you're going to get unbelievable signs of people just, it's awesome. So I can affect I can get anybody upset pretty quickly within like a 10-minute drive just by the crazy things I do while driving. And I'm just being honest with you. If you get anybody who's ridden with me, you'll know that's bad. So, but we can also affect people positively, can't we? So real quick, just throwing it out, just kind of close your eyes for a second. Close your eyes, marinate. When you walked into the room today, did you say, oh man, I'm tired, holy crap, it's a Saturday? Or did you say, man, I'm excited, I want to be here? Did you look like somebody that, someone would want to work with and train and hire? Or did you look like, holy crap, I guess I have to be here and oh man. All right, think about that for a second. So kind of open your eyes for a second. Just think about that though, right? I mean, you guys, like with the way that you project yourself, it definitely affects the emotional state of others. Does that make sense? So when you walk in here, why are we listening to Marvin Gaye? Well, one, Marvin Gaye is awesome. But two, I want to create a certain energy. So I want you guys to know I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. Why? Because I want to get my mojo going before I see you guys. I don't want to be like, well, I'm just trying to get going. No, I have to bring, my mojo has to be going before I see you. Make sense? So it's huge. It's huge, okay? So we have to adjust the emotional state. Now also we're dealing with prejudice, natural. Some people hate white people, hate black people, hate women, hate men, hate people from India, hate people. There's all sorts of prejudices, right? Is there racism? Is there reverse racism? Is there sexism? Is there reverse sexism? Is there women who don't like guys? Is there black people who don't like white people? Is there white people who don't like black people? Is there people who think that they're not racist, but they really are? I mean, yes. Why? Because it's humans. Now, we teach within the walls of college that you shouldn't be racist, but yet people still are. You teach you shouldn't judge people, but we still do. And so all of us do it. So let's do an example. If you're at the mall, and let's just pretend that there is someone of the opposite sex that looks like they were sleeping under the trash area, the trash receptacle in front of them, behind the mall. They look like they were sleeping back there, and now they're just strolling the mall. You've been to the mall. Remember the last time you were at the mall? A group of dudes walk by, and they smell like a serious amount of weed. Are you likely to talk to them or not? I mean, does it affect you at all? Or are you just totally not without prejudice? Because maybe they just were raised in a certain environment where their parent does that, and they're trying to be a good human, but we won't even want to talk, right? So when you call people, I'm telling you, what is the only prejudice that somebody can have when you call them on this campaign? Or do any kind of sales. We were talking to them on the phone. What's the prejudice they're going to have immediately? Do you sound like a
Cold caller.
A cold caller. If you sound like a cold caller, I want you to write that down. You cannot sound like a cold caller. That is the number one sin of this campaign. All right? And I'm not super aware of all the biblical things, but there's the 10 Commandments. I think there was an 11th, but like they were trying to chisel it in, it broke the tablet and I missed it. But the 11th is don't sound like a cold caller. All right? Just don't. Do not do it. If you sound like a cold caller, I promise you'll have like a rough campaign. You'll look like a staple gun for your forehead or something. That'll be a good situation. Your dreams will go to, Okmulgee. If you can't sell. They'll go down the highway to Okmulgee if they don't, so Oak, Now, no offense to people who might, be in Okie but that's where it's going to go. If you've got a big old dream and you can't sell, it's just a bad deal. It's just not going to happen. So we're going to go through the board. We're going to talk about kind of call/sales center 101. Now, we're going to lay this all out. Oh, yeah. Boom. And in jazz hands, I'm going to allow you to move a little bit so I can see your incredible face, because your incredible face is why I came here today. Okay, so these are all the things you need to make a call center. And I want you guys to jot these down. You're like, you want me to jot all this down? Yes. Why? Because does anybody here have any aspirations at any point in your life to own a business, or am I the only one who cares? Anybody care? You do? Okay, you? Okay, well, jot this stuff down, because you understand that, like, when I go to work for Maytag or O'Reilly's or Hewlett-Packard or whatever, I will charge people like $20,000 for this. This right here, I will charge people $20,000, and they will pay me $20,000 for this. So I'm showing you exactly. So we're going to go through it. We're going to go through one at a time, so you don't have to feel like your brain's going to explode. But if you run out of paper, we're going to raid the printer here. I'm not going to ask for permission. I'll just ask for forgiveness, because that's the entrepreneurship way. Okay, so building a sales center, call center, from the ground up. Okay? From the ground up. So let's look at it. The stuff we need. We need stuff. 1, pledge/sales card. Now, what if we change this to say, building a job recruitment center? So you're trying to find a job. Let's just pretend for a second you're using this system to try to find a job after college. This system will work. Let's say that you were trying to, anybody here have a product idea? Anybody here have this idea for a product at some point, or a business, a certain kind of business? So if you're going to try to raise investor money, let's say, this could be the same system. You could say, this is a thing called a lead sheet. It's where you document the people you're talking to. Because if you talk to Bob, if you make 100 calls a day, is it likely you're going to talk to a ton of people and you'll probably forget what you talked about? So you need to write it down, okay? The second is a call log. Does anybody here know why we need a call log? Other than just, it's a fun word. It's 2 syllables. I love those syllables. Anybody? What do you think? Bueller? Mirandon? What do you think, Mirandon? Why do we need a call log? Because you cannot manage unless you can measure. Oh, that's an epiphany right there. That makes me want to cry. You can't manage unless you can measure. Next is a script. Why do you need a script? Why do you need like a plan? Why can't you just get on the phone and say whatever the heck you want to do? Is it possible that I've maybe done this so much that maybe I've found what works? But the reason why we're going to do the script is because if you're shooting from the hip, you will bomb. It will blow up. Your pie will taste like cow pies. I've never had a cow pie, but if I did, I would believe that it would taste like hell. Okay, so anyway, moving on. So 4, you want a list of ideal and likely buyers. If we're going to raise money for a call campaign from alumni, who should we call?
The successful alumni.
Okay, come on, now we're talking. So you said alumni, and then we cut it back a little more. So we started with this big, huge, like we said first, the funnel. Let's call alumni. That's a big idea. But if we're going to raise money from alumni, we should call alumni. Now this, by the way, doesn't happen. That kind of genius does not happen in 90% of the businesses I've met. No, I'm being real. Example. There's fitness businesses out there who are like, I'm going to do TV commercials. Why would you do a TV commercial that reaches the whole city when only like 10% of the city could afford your services if you have a $600 a month personal training service? Doesn't it even make sense to buy ads? No matter how many ads they run, would you be willing to pay $1,200 a month for personal training? But there is some people who would. So let's just market to those people, right? So we say alumni first, but then we get in and we say, people, you said alumni who are
Successful.
Oh man, I'm going to say people who've given $100 or more. You got to write that down because that's who we're calling right now. Oh man, I'm starting to get excited, and that's because I have a disorder. But I love entrepreneurship and I love sales. But that's the thing. Do you guys get it? We're only going to call people who've given 100 or more. What? I'm going crazy back here. I just want to have on camera. Okay. The thing is, it's nuts. It's unbelievable. We're going to call people who've given money before. This is like a treasure trove of awesomeness. This is the sort of, like, this is manna, but like flavored manna. It's like with frosting and it doesn't make you fat. That's the kind of manna it is. It's like ice cream with no calories, no side effects. I don't understand it. I can eat as much as I want and it gives me six-pack abs. That's what this is. This is sick. This is swine flu. This is, oh, it's so sick. Oh, it's so awesome. Do you realize that if you could have a list of people that paid for financial consulting services in the past and you're calling them, that is awesome. Whoa. If you're calling, we'll switch back to him just so he doesn't get super bitter. If you're going to call people who have a net worth of over $1 million, they're called accredited investors. And by the way, you can buy lists of these people. If you called only accredited investors, don't you think you'd have a higher probability of raising money? So I have a meeting scheduled in November where I'm going to be presenting to 35 guys who have a net worth of over $2-3 million. Don't you think that's a pretty good group of people to talk to about raising money? Now, I don't know about you, but some families, families I've been to and families I've been in, you're like, hey, you want to invest for like $7? I'll do $7. I mean, how much interest am I getting? Don't cash this right now, but here's $7. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how motivated. What if my presentation is slick? It still doesn't matter. There's no money there, right? Right? We're calling people who've given to ORU in the past. And if somebody's given money to ORU in the past, does it mean that they potentially might want to do it again? Oh man, I'm going to cry. Now, next, we need to have something, point number 5, we need to have something that humans want to buy that provides a solution to a problem. Marinate on that for a second. So here's the thing. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore, but the thing is, it's something that humans want to buy that provides a solution to a problem. If you're selling something that no one wants, it doesn't matter how awesome you are at sales, people don't want it. Have you guys ever bought an organic avocado? Hear about anything organic?
Banana.
Banana? Do you care if it's organic? Who here does care? Do you care? Do you care? Do you care? Wait till you're 40. Do anybody care? Okay, so this is funny. So now, even though I might have an organic sticker on something, if I'm not an ideal and likely buyer, college students are not the top organic buyers. But if we're selling to people who are in their 40s, who are fighting age, and they're like, I just want to get younger. I want to keep your mom, right? Organic. I almost guarantee it's organic, right? Yeah, organic, right. That's what happens. So I'm just telling you, we got to sell a product to people who have the ideal and likely, who are ideal and likely to buy it. But also you have to have a problem that provides a solution. So the solution for college kids, they don't even care if it's organic. They want it to be cheap. So what is the alumni? If you've given money to a college before, what could be your motivating factors? And I want you to write these down as we think about them. What are the possible solutions that we're providing for someone? How could somebody donating money, you don't get anything when you donate, what kind of things do they get? And I thought we had said, and maybe I'm wrong, but I thought we had said that Dale Carnegie had said, he says, we're dealing with creatures of emotion. Oh man, so logically it doesn't even make sense. So people have this emotional need to feel good. Oh no, because we're about ready to just have a bam. Okay, so what happens is that if you're talking to someone on a call campaign and you're seeking a donation, the one thing that they want to feel is they want to feel good. So you know what? Stay on the freaking phone as long as possible and build a connection. Are you feeling me? Stay on the phone as long as possible and build a connection. In fact, give them this infection of this thing called stay on the phone. Build a relationship. Let's switch for a second and say you had an accounting service and somebody's wanting to really help financially plan their future. They want to feel secure. Do you want to rush them through that meeting? Probably not, right? But so many of us were trying to raise a bunch of money that we're just going to rush through the call. No, not us, no. So what people want on this campaign is to feel good. But you have to focus on, whenever you sell a product, what is the solution people want? At the end of the day, the shake weight, people want to lose
weight.
Right. The reason why 40-year-olds buy organic is because they want to live
Longer.
Yeah, be healthier, right? The reason why we're going to raise money is because these people want to feel good about what? What do they want to feel good about? They want to feel good that this school is going to help reach another generation and teach them the merits of spirit, mind, body. Now what do we call? We changed it a little bit. It's called now the whole person. Where these people want to feel good that I'm giving money back to a school that changed my life to help somebody else. Hence why I'm here. So when someone asks you, how are you doing? Do not say, I'm doing good. The reason for my call is, don't say that. That's forbidden. Are you hearing me? So when someone says, how are you doing? So you're going to call them, hey, this is such a from you. How are you today? And they'll say, fine. They'll say, how are you, Nick? Do not say, I'm doing great. The reason for my call is, right? Have you ever had somebody in your life who does that stuff to you? You say, how are you? Fine. Hey, I was going to see if I could borrow your car. Have you ever had that happen?
Yeah.
How does it make you feel? Okay, so when they say, how are you doing? You're going to say, I'm doing awesome. You know, this campus enrollment's headed up here. We got the new student center that's rocking. I got up this morning before I wanted to. I got this crazy guy yelling at me all day, and it's a weird deal. I feel this weird. It's good, bad. It's like a tornado. But they're going to be like, really? And you're like, yeah. I know, I live in Claudius. You do? Really? Yeah. Well, how do you like it? It's awesome. They got they actually put new carpet in. Really? They had nasty carpet for 20 years. They put in new carpet? What's it like over there? There are ducks? Oh yeah, there's ducks everywhere. They're breeding. It's crazy. There's squirrels. I saw a squirrel this morning. You know, whatever. Okay? All right? Then you need a computer with Excel. Anybody here not know how to use Excel? Nobody? We're all good? Computer with Excel. Why do we need a computer with Excel? So we can keep track of who we're calling. Now, not this campaign, but a couple campaigns ago, I had one man, he's like, is there any way I could just print off my list and I've got my own thing I'd like to do? No. And I'm going to give you this little quotable. If it's not scalable, if it's not scalable, you can write it however you want. It's scalable, meaning you can do it over and over and over. If it's not scalable and duplicatable, it's not worth doing. Okay, so I'm not going to do something. I'm not going to be like, yep, well, Miranda, he just has this inner desire to call using the random call method. So we're all going to be calling East Coast, but he's just going to call whoever he feels anointed and appointed to call. No, all right? I'm not going to have a talent show of who has the most spiritual connection to who to call, and I'm not going to do dartboard technology. I'm not going to do, we're just going to all go to, okay, now the phone. Oh, this is an offensive thing. But there's a high probability, and I want you to write this down. There's a high probability that nobody wants to call you today to pay you. High probability that no one wants to call and pay you. Now, why am I saying this? Have you guys ever been to a business? You ever had a family member that you know who has a business, who has been waiting for years for the phone to ring? So let's think about it for a second. So the phone, no one's going to call you and tell you, hey, Nick, your idea is so awesome, I want to invest in it. It's not going to happen. Another example. Sylvester Stallone. You guys know that guy? You know, he's the Rocky guy. You know, he pitched that movie over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Just Google how many times he pitched the movie before he got the deal. It's unbelievable. That's the sort of persistence that you have to have. So I'm gonna give this to you because I want you to write this down, okay? Okay? Think about this for a second. I want you to write it down. It's huge, okay? Success is a choice, but you have to choose to not stop until you succeed. Does that make sense? Success is a choice, but you have to choose to not stop until you succeed. I hope that's making sense. You have to choose to not stop until you succeed. You know what I'm saying? And no one has these talks with you guys, so I'm having it with you, okay? So it's big. Now, Red Bull, coffee, or natural enthusiasm? That's what we need. Why? I don't know. Some people just do not yawn on my floor again. Whoever you are, stop it. Whatever that is, don't yawn. To me, yawning is like reverse enthusiasm. It's contagious. So just pretend like if you're yawning, just like, and then just make sure we don't make eye contact. But don't do it, okay? It's weakness leaving the body. I can't handle it. You'll never see me yawn. And if I do, I'm like, I'll actually slap myself, okay? So Red Bull, coffee, natural enthusiasm, whatever you have to do, but come here ready to go. So don't tell me you're tired because I've always slept less than you. Okay, don't tell me that you're going through some crap because I'm probably going through as much as you or worse. So let's just move, let's put that aside and realize when we're here, it's showtime. Okay, next thing, receipt. When somebody buys something, do they not want a receipt?
Yes.
Let's say that you were trying to raise investment dollars. They probably don't want a receipt, but they're going to need a contract. They're probably going to need if you're going to do financial consulting, they're probably going to need like a proposal or an offer sheet or a contract or an invoice. I'm just encouraging you to write this down. So now we have payment, a payment portal. You know, when you take someone's payment, you can't sound weird. Just throwing that out there. You can't be like, so we'd raise money, you can't be like, so do you want to pay? Doesn't that sound weird? Okay, we have to know how to close. Okay, so how we're going to close is we're going to say, all right, well, do you want to do that on a debit card or a credit card? Credit card. Okay, great. Let me type it in here and I'll send you a receipt. That's how you do it. When you have your accounting service, you're going to go, all right, well, did you want to go ahead and set up today on debit card or check? How do you want to do it? You're not going to be like, did you want to go ahead and pay? Have you ever been into a restaurant where the waiter's like, are you sure you want to eat here?
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to this, Italian restaurant. Do you want to eat here? I guess. Right? You ever had a waiter who kind of asks for dessert in a weak, apologizing way? Have you ever had it happen? It happens to me all the time. Do you guys save any room for dessert? Maybe? Okay. Right? Or they'll be like, you're probably stuffed, but did you save any room for dessert? Now, here's a waiter who gets me every time. This guy works up there at Russo's, 91st and Yale. This guy gets me every time. He is the cause of my weight gain. But this guy, he says, hey guys, tonight we have a house special. It's the yada yada. Oh my gosh, people love it. Let me get one for you. If you don't like it, it's on the house. How do you say no to the guy? You're like, fine, I'll just eat another, like 7,000 calories a night. You go there, okay. So moving on, right? So point 11, the whiteboard. Why do we have a whiteboard? Well, and why do we have to have old and reliable markers? I don't know, but every time I come up here, I get markers that I think progressively get older. Look at this packaging. This is like from 1922.
It was the 70s.
This was actually, this was something that Moses carried around with him. He was like, we got to start writing stuff down, guys. And they're like, well, we got these markers. So I've got these old, reliable markers. No, but you need markers. And the reason why is because you're going to have a question. You're going to have an issue, and every hour we're going to break for about 10 minutes, and any of the issues that you have, we're going to answer them all at one time. And why is it important that you always answer all the questions at one time? You ever heard of a thing called FAQs, frequently asked questions? Boom, we deal with them at one time, it's faster. Cool? So real quick, if you're trying to raise money, you're going to notice there's these things called FAQ. Yeah, and then if you're trying to start your business, you're going to find that there's going to be this thing called FAQ. So you just write them down, and you figure out everyone asks this question, I might as well make an answer for it, right? Bam! Bam! That's crazy. Okay, moving on. All right, 12. Envelopes. Why do we have to mail something? In this great digital age, why do we have to mail? Why do we even have to have someone on our team who mails?
Personal.
Couldn't Stephanie just email everybody? Why does she have to mail something? Does it make that tangible connection, getting the mail? You ever opened up mail and who here's ever got a love letter from someone of the opposite sex before? Or a letter that at least says something nice? Come on. No? You guys like texting each other, I want to break up. You've probably already done that. Bunch of millennial jerks, right? Just texting their breakups, right? Point is, old school, you broke up on parchment. No, I'm just kidding. But the thing is that you guys want to have a personal touch, okay? If you handwrite something and say thank you for giving, or if you sign it or mail it off, it just feels better, doesn't it? And remember, why are people donating? Because they want to? Yeah. Okay, so don't get all worked up. Why do we have envelopes? Now, we need a printer. Why do we need a printer? Print stuff that goes in envelopes, right?
Yeah.
Why am I making this list? Because nobody does this. I go in small businesses all across the country. I'm not kidding. They hire me. They see me at a seminar. They're like, I need to hire you. I go in. I'm like, do you have any printers? No. Okay. You going to get one? I don't know if we need it. Okay. Right? Okay. Next thing, merit-based pay. This is offensive because we're getting kind of socialist as a country. Of merit-based pay. I'm going to give one of you guys a $1,000 scholarship. Okay? So whoever raises the most money on this is going to get $1,000.
Awesome.
Okay, towards your student loans. I know it feels like it's taking luggage off the Titanic because you're paying 30. How much is it? 30 million a year? How much is it again? 30? 35,000. Ah, that one here was like 17. I was angry. Okay, so $1,000 scholarship. Okay, and then every night, whoever does the best, whoever raises the most, I'm going to give you $50 each night. So and at the end we'll get. So if you're the top dog, Christian, every night, I think we're here 6 nights. So how much can he make if he kills it every night?
300.
And kill in my world is a good thing. You know, kill, it's like it's the future of, it's like the word sick, it's a good thing. I have a problem, okay? But kill, it's a good thing. So you can make $300 of cash in addition to what you get paid. I'll write you a check. Cool? Now, what if you're like, I'm not gonna do that. Then you're gonna get paid less. Why? You mean you pay people less who do worse? Yeah. This is for some reason like offensive in America right now. I don't know what it is. But like there's people who should make a lot more than other people based on productivity. So as you have these big goals and things we want to do, somebody's going to work harder than the other person. I'm just being honest. This is what happened with Teslin. I got here and I noticed that she was here on the phone calling before other people by like 30 minutes sometimes. And she was like, I'm getting that money. I'm getting that money. I need that money. That's what I need. And bam, right? So I'm telling you, in my office, I don't put like a bar on the door. And I'm like, you can't come in before, you know. But the thing is, like, if you want to become successful, you can't put limits on what you're willing to do. Okay, now I'm gonna throw it out for you because I love you guys. I'm trying to help you, okay? And if I wasn't truly in it to win it, we would just be talking about just the call script and we'd be on the phone. And you're like, why? Because none of this matters. It's like hollow. Have you ever had an Easter egg where you expected to get the Easter bunny? You expected to get a chocolate Easter bunny. You expected, and you bit into it and you're like, whoa, this thing's hollow. That's how success will be if you don't learn this stuff, okay? What we're gonna talk about now is now we know all the stuff we need, right? Now we need to talk about the people we need and the roles they play, and then we're going to get into the script itself, okay? So here we go. The people. You need a trainer. That's one. You need a trainer to run this call campaign, to run a... Now, if you're starting your own business and you're just it's like an army of one, by the way, almost every business starts with an army of one. And Richard Branson's book explains how he started a call center. Some of these guys have read it. It's awesome. But he and a bunch of students started a newspaper called The Student. And he was dyslexic and couldn't write, but they started selling ads to Lloyd's of London. And they got Mick Jagger booked as an interview. They were selling ads to the biggest banks in the world, having never actually made a publication yet. So they were selling ads in a newspaper that didn't exist. Awesome. Okay, so here we go. So the thing is, like, you can do this whether it's a team of 1 or 2, but you need to have somebody who is a trainer, okay? Or they could be like a Viking or a life coach, okay? But what does this person have to do? 1, they have to be like your accountability partner, okay? So I'm just telling you, if you start a business, so Christian, you start that business, all you need is you and yourself, but it might be good to have you and a dude, or you and a lady you're calling, but one of you has to be the accountability person. What does accountability mean? I have to set the pace. My job is to make sure that I set the pace and the entire time a phone is in our face. That's what I have to do. Cool? All right? So most people put their emotions, well, check out this word. This is a fun word. Most people put their emotion in front of the motion. They can't do anything because they're so emotional. You know. I don't want to make calls. Someone just yelled at me. Somebody just hung up on me. I don't feel like my phone won't work. I have bad numbers. Oh gosh. My job is that we doesn't matter. So some of you are going to call and you're going to be like, everyone I call, it's the wrong number. And I'm going to say, I know. That was the list that I magically made to make your life horrible. And you'll be like, that was not encouraging at all. And I'm like, I know, because I'm your accountability partner and I care not about your emotional state. Okay? Second thing, coach. A coach, their job is to help make you the best you can be, not the easiest you can be. It's not the easiest you can be, but the best you can be. So anybody here ever lifted weights before and got sore? Obviously, right? You work out, you get sore. If your goal is to not be sore, like have you ever seen those commercials for the impact? No impact, shake weight. Does it work? No. Anybody here ever studied like a boss to really pass a test? I mean, you studied and it was tough. But you kind of learn more usually is when you're pushing yourself. So I'm just telling you, the pain, is always the prerequisite to the gain. Okay? The pain before the gain. So just deal with that, okay? And then numbers. I'm going to make sure that we're hitting our numbers. So I want you to write this down. Everybody here has to make 100 calls a night. 100 calls a night. 100 calls a night. Oh, yeah. Now here's the deal. 100 calls a night, that can happen in 5 hours. In 5 hours, a typical C- caller can make 100 calls in 5 hours. Now us, we are Spartans. We are a rare breed. We are called people who've never made calls before, except for you. We are people who don't have our own bias. We haven't formed a union yet. We haven't, come up with a list of reasons why we can't do it. So I believe we can make 150 in 4.5. Cool? But there are call centers all across America where people they're like, we can just get everyone to make 40 calls tonight. We're just going to be happy. I'm not going to do that. I had a DJ company. I started out of my dorm room. True story. I would come back from my humanities class. True story, guys. I was up in floor 4, EMR North. Bam, right in there, okay? I would come in there and I would pick up the phone and I would call in between my classes. I'd have an hour break in between classes. And in an hour, I could call 30 companies and usually get one appointment set. Then I go to my next class, come back, call, 30 calls, boom, boom. And I was highly motivated, and so therefore I could do it. We got to have numbers. So real quick, I'm looking for 150 calls a night. Now you know what? If you guys do your best, I promise you, it'll all work out. But I will never yell at you. I'm not going to attack your character. If you just try the best you can do, if you just put your best effort, I will do nothing but encourage you and help you. But if you don't put your best effort, if you're giving me that 98% stuff, that, we're saving some for later stuff, then I'm going to be all over you. Okay? So we got to just make 150 calls a night. I know you can do it. Okay, so callers. Okay? Moving on to callers. We need callers. Who's that? You. Okay? Now, what do you need to be a good caller? Well, a pulse. Okay? So we need a pulse. I'm going to write that in. A lot of times I think, we overcomplicate this. We need a pulse. But then the second, we need diligence. And diligence, the word diligence, if we were busting out Webster's dictionary, means what? The steady application of effort. Okay? Diligence is the steady application of
Effort.
Diligence is the steady application of what?
Effort.
The boom. Right there it is. Boom. Boom. Okay? Steady application of
Effort.
Okay, real quick, there's this word boom I use all the time. I'm going to add a little boom, little boom here. It's okay, don't freak out. Boom. Boom stands for, I'm going to give it to you, you can write it down. Big, overwhelming, optimistic momentum. Boom. Big, overwhelming, optimistic momentum. If you call people with a little boom, you'll win, okay? Got to bring the boom. Boom. Awesome, okay? So, callers, pulse, diligence, boom. Coachable. You gotta be coachable. What does that mean to be coachable? There's a question I need you to start asking, by the way, even if you never see me again, let's say on the way out of here, I get fascinated by looking at a squirrel and I'm like, that's a squirrel, and then I just get hit by a truck. That's okay, because you'll still have this written down somewhere, okay? You wanna ask yourself, you wanna seek criticism, not praise, okay? You want to seek the criticism, not the praise. So the question you should ask me all the time is, how can I get better? Don't tell me why you're not doing well. Tell me how you can get better. Ask me, how can I get better? Does that make sense? Don't justify why we're doing whatever. There's one girl in our last campaign that was awesome. Awesome. And I'm just like, you can do better. And she's like, I can't do better. I'm ahead. And I'm like, I know you can do better. She can't. So I pull her aside. Listen, don't tell me that you can't do better. I know you can, okay? But you can't, just because you're it's easy for you, doesn't mean you're you can't get better. You gotta ask, how can I get better? That's the question we ask, okay? All right, the ability to speak, that's huge. I know it seems like I'm joking around, but I'm not. You do need to speak articulately because people do judge you by the words you use. You don't hear a lot of pilots, going, air traffic control, what up? What up, air traffic control? They're not doing a lot of that. Not a lot of people, not a lot of air traffic control saying, go ahead, pilot, tell us your altitude. And he's like, well, what had happened was I was just like, no. And then I'm like, whoa. And now I'm like, what? They have a language. They have to speak a certain way. It's like you got to be able to articulate yourself. So we can't use just a whole lot of slang on this phone call because people will judge us. Okay? Also, you got to show up on time. I have no patience for not being here on time. Cool? We got to be here on time. Okay? On time, on time, on time. Don't tell me that you live a long way from here. Don't tell me it was raining. Don't tell me how. I don't care. Just find a way. Whatever those series of events you need to do. One girl last campaign, she mentioned how what happened was I don't want to get into trying to show you how to do your hair better, faster. I don't want to learn about, life tips and your roommate. Just get here. Okay. Now the third is we need an administrative assistant. Why do we need to have Big Red? Are you back? Woo! All right. Why do we need Big Red and Stephanie? Why do we need Big Red and Stephanie? Why can't we just call a bunch of people, write a bunch of crap down on stuff, and just throw it in a box and leave? Why do we have to have an administrative assistant? What's the point?
Keep organized.
Oh, man. Now, most entrepreneurs I know are a bunch of cowboys. Boo, boo, boo. They're not writing stuff down, just selling crap. Stuff's blowing up everywhere. I'm just serious. They're just whatever, did you get a receipt for that? Whatever. You go into a sales room, most sales guys, I'm telling you, they're just did you get a receipt on that? Whatever, it's whatever. Our photography business, I'm constantly talking to the salespeople. I'm like, hey, what did you sell there? Did you check the boxes? What did the bride buy? 2 photographers or 1? Prints or no prints? What time are we going to get there? I'm not sure. Well, call them back. Well, why? The details matter, okay? We got to have that, okay? So we got to mail people receipts. We have to log the payments, and we have to keep America caffeinated. So Big Red, it's a civic duty to help keep us caffeinated.
Amen.
Okay? So we got to keep the energy going. I keep the enthusiasm going, okay? Everybody clear on that? The roles? Go ahead, let's put 10 minutes on the clock, and let's see how far you can get into it, okay? Go for it. Blah, blah, blah.
All right, JT, so hypothetically, in your mind, what is the purpose of having a business?
To get you to your goals. So it's a vehicle to get you to your destination.
Whoa. And would you need profits to get there? Is when you have a business that's successful, in your mind, in your expert opinion, would you need profits to get you to your goals?
Yeah, because if you have a $15 million business, but you have $15 million of expenses, it's kind of pointless.
Holy crap!
All right, so the question I would have here for you, if you could take 10 minutes or less and see if you could save $3,000 a year by reducing your credit card fees, would you do it?
Yes, absolutely.
Holy crap!
Why would somebody out there who's listening right now who has a sane mind, why would they not go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card, thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card to schedule a 10-minute consultation to see if they can reduce their credit card fees by at least $3,000 a year?
Why would they not do it?
Yeah, why would they not do it?
Maybe because they didn't understand how you set the website.
This tree is a symbol of the spirit of the Griswold family Christmas.
No, that's clear. Okay, so that could be true. So I would encourage everybody to check out thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card, thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card. What would be another reason why someone would not be willing to take 10 minutes to compare rates to see if they could save $3,000 or more on credit card fees?
Maybe they think it is a waste of time and that it won't. It's not possible.
There's somebody out there that's making more than $3,000 every 10 minutes, and they're like, nah, that's not worth my time.
Hello, we getting there, right money. We getting there, right money.
There's probably someone out there.
Okay.
They would think that.
Well, I'll just tell you, folks, if you're out there today and you're making less than $3,000 per 10 minutes, I would highly recommend that you go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card. Because you can compare rates, you can save money, and the big goal, in my opinion, of building a business is to create time freedom and financial freedom. And in order to do that, you have to maximize your profits.
Holy crap!
Now, one way to maximize your profits is to increase your revenue. Another way to do it is to decrease your expenses.
It's a profit deal. Takes the pressure off.
JT, is there any other reason why somebody would not be willing to take 10 minutes to compare rates to see if they could save a total of $3,000 a year on average?
I am at a loss and I cannot think of any other.
Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth. Oh, really, fool? Really? Stop looking at me, Swan.
Well, let me tell you a good story here real quick here. I actually, years ago, compared rates with this company here called IPS. It's Integrated Payment Services. And I scheduled a consultation. I don't know that I was skeptical. I just thought, whatever, I'll take 10 minutes. I'll compare rates.
I can't tell. You can tell me I'm a doctor. No, I mean, I'm just not sure.
Or can't you take a guess?
Well, not for another 2 hours.
You can't take a guess for another 2 hours?
And in my case, in my particular case, I save over $20,000 a year.
Holy crap!
Wow. Which is, like groceries when my wife goes to the organic stores.
Find everything you need today?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Oh, God. No.
Everything okay, ma'am?
It's just that you've only scanned a few items and it's already $60. I'm so scared.
Okay, I'm a trained professional, ma'am. I've scanned a lot of groceries. I need you to stay with me.
It's just that my in-laws are in town and they want a charcuterie board.
This isn't gonna be easy, so I need you to be brave, all right? What's your name?
Patricia.
Tricia, all right. I need you to take a deep breath. We're about to do the cheese.
That's the difference between eating organic and not organic. So because my wife eats organic, I had to take the 10 minutes needed to compare rates to save the $20,000 a year on credit card fees just for one of my companies.
One question, what's the brand name of the clock?
The brand name of the clock, Rod. Do we have it? Brand name of the clock. It's an elegant from Ridgeway. It's from Ridgeway.
Let's
buy the clock
and sell the fireplace.
So I encourage everybody out there, go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card. You schedule a free consultation, request information. A member of our team will call you. They'll schedule a free consultation. It should take you 10 minutes or less. And they're going to compare rates and see if they can't save you more than $3,000 a year off of your credit card processing.
You were hoping what?
I wouldn't owe you money at the end of the day.
No, you don't owe us money.
Because at the end of the day, the goal of a business is to create time freedom and financial freedom. In order to do that, you need to create additional profits.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah, so here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months, or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Crockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours where he does these tours all across the country where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So Think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy. Elon Musk, kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant, and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal, and they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down, because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company, or navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. As you can see, it's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrivetime Show, 2-day interactive business workshops, are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet. You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems, so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot-coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you. If we go back 8 years ago, think about the number of clients you had back then versus the number of clients you have now. As a percentage, what has been the growth over the past 8 years, do you think? We got to inspire somebody out there who just doesn't have the time to listen to their calls.
Okay, so Clay, it's like I would go up and down from about $10,000 a month up to about $40,000, but it's up and down roller coaster. And so now we've got it to where we're in excess of 100 clients.
That's awesome.
And so I would have anywhere from 5 clients to 20 clients on my own with networking, but I had no control over it. I didn't. Without the systems, you're going to be victimized by your own business.
For somebody out there who struggles with math, if you, let's say that your average number of clients was 30 and you go to 100, as a percentage, what is that?
I have doubled every year since working with you. So I've doubled in clients, I've doubled in revenue every year. It's 100% growth every year I've worked with. Now, so I'm looking, we've been good friends 7-8 years, and I've got doubled 5 times.
Which is just incredible. I mean, the first time you do it, that's one thing, but when you do it repeatedly,
yeah,
I mean, that's unbelievable.
We're working our Blessed Assurance off this year to double. We're planning on doubling again. We're incorporating some new things in there to really help us do it, but we are going to double again this year. I started coaching, but it would go up and down, Clay. That's when I came to you, as I was going up and down, and I wanted to go up and up instead of up and down. And so that's when it needed a system. So creating a system is you have nailed down specific steps that you're going to take no matter how you feel, no matter the results. You lean into them and you do them regardless of what's happening. You lean into them and it will give you X number of leads. You follow up with those leads, turns into sales. Well, I tell you, it's... If you don't have a script and you don't have a system, then every day is a whole new creation. You're creating a lot of energy just to figure out what are you going to do.
Right.
And the best executives, Peter Drucker is a father of modern management. He said, the most effective executives make one decision a year. What you do is you make a decision, what is your system, and then you work like the Dickens to make sure you follow that system. And so that's really what it's all about. So with a script here, we have a brand new gal that just came in working for us. She nailed down the script, and she's been nailing down appointments. Usually we try to get one appointment for every 100 calls. We make 200 to 300 calls a day per rep.
Right.
And she's been nailing down 5 and 8 appointments a day.
Somebody out there's having a hard time.
That script.
So she's making how many calls a day?
She's making between 200 and 300 calls a day.
Whoa. And our relationship is weird in that we do. If someone were to buy an Apple computer today, and or let's say you bought a personal computer, a PC, the computer is made by, let's say, Dell. but then the software in the computer would be Microsoft, let's say, or Adobe or whatever that is. So I basically make the systems, and you're like the computer and I'm like the software. It's kind of how I would describe our relationship. Yeah. Tim, I want to ask you this. You and I reconnected. I think it was in the year 2000 and what was it? Maybe 2010. Is that right? 2011, maybe, or no, maybe further down the road. Maybe 2013.
2012.
Okay, so 2012, and at that time I was 5 years removed from the DJ business, and you were how many years removed from tax and accounting software?
It was about 10, 11 years.
We met. How did we re-meet? What was the first interaction? There was some interaction where you and I first connected. I just remember that somehow you and I went to Hideaway Pizza. But do you remember when we first reconnected?
Yeah. Well, we had that speaking thing that.
There it was. So it's Victory Christian Center. I was speaking there.
My name is Robert Redmond. I actually first met Clay almost 3 years ago to the day. I don't know if he remembers it or not, but I wasn't working with him at the time. I asked to see him and just ask him some questions to help, direct my life, to get some mentorship. But I've been working with Clay for now just over a year. The role I play here is a business coach, business consultant. I work with different businesses implementing best practice processes and systems that I have learned here by working with Clay. And the experience working here has, to put it real plainly, has been just life-changing. I have not only learned new things and have gained new knowledge, but I have gained a whole new mindset that I believe wherever I end up will serve me well throughout the rest of my life. Since working with Clay, I have learned so much. I mean, I would like to say almost everything about business in terms of the different categories. I haven't learned it all, but I've learned all about marketing. I've learned about advertising. I've learned about branding. I've learned how to create a sales process for organizations in any industry. I've learned how to sell. I've learned how to create repeatable systems and processes and hold people accountable. How to hire people. It's almost like every aspect of a business you can learn. I have learned a lot in those different categories. And then, again, the mindset that I've gained here has been huge. Working here, you can't be a mediocre person. You are a call to a higher standard of excellence. And then as you're called to that standard here, you begin to see those outcomes in every area of your life. That standard of excellence that you want to implement no matter what you're involved in. I would like to describe the other people that work with Clay are people that are going somewhere with their life. Marshall in the group interview talks about how the best fits for this organization are the people that are goal oriented. So they're on their own trajectory, and we're on our own trajectory. And the best fits are those people where there can be a mutually beneficial relationship. That as we pursue our goals and we help the business pursue those goals, the business helps us pursue our goals as well. And so I'd say people that are driven, people that want to make something of their lives, people that are goal-oriented, they're focused, and they're committed to overcoming any adversity that may come their way. Clay's passion for helping business owners grow their businesses it's unique in that I don't know if there's anyone else that can be as passionate. Whenever a business starts working with Clay, it's almost as like Clay is running that business in the sense that he has something at stake. He's just serving them. They're one of his clients, but it's as if he is actively involved in the business. Whenever they have a win, he's posting it all over his social media. He's shouting it across the room here at Thrive. He's sending people encouraging messages. He can kind of be that life coach and business coach in terms of being that a motivator and that champion for people's businesses. It's again unique because there's no one else I've seen get so excited about and passionate about other people's businesses. The kind of people that wouldn't like working with Clay are people that are satisfied with mediocrity. People that want to get through life by just doing enough, by just getting by. People who are not looking to develop themselves, people who are not coachable, people who think that they know it all and they're unwilling to change. I would say those are the type of people. In short, anyone that's content with mediocrity would not like working with Clay. So if you're meeting Clay for the first time, the advice I'd give you is definitely come ready to take tons of notes. Every time Clay speaks, he it gives you a wealth of knowledge that you don't want to miss. I remember the first time that I met Clay, I literally carried a notebook with me all around. I was looking at this notebook the other day, actually. I carried a notebook with me all around, and I just took tons of notes. I filled the entire notebook in about 3 or 4 months just from being around Clay, following him, and learning from him. And then I would say, come coachable. Be open to learning something new. Be open to challenging yourself. Be open to learning and adjusting parts about you that need to be adjusted.